The Galactic Academy's Xenobiology lecture hall fell silent as Professor Velkath entered, accompanied by 2 security guards and a reinforced containment unit. Inside, something growled. Jake Mitchell sat in the back row, notebook ready, completely unaware of the chaos about to unfold. He was the only human in a class of 47 students representing 12 different species, most of whom had never seen a Terran before his arrival 3 months ago. Today, Professor Velkath announced, his 4 eyes gleaming with what Jake had learned to recognize as excitement, we study apex predators. Specifically, the Vexthor hatchling. The containment unit hissed open. What emerged made the entire class recoil in their seats. The creature was roughly the size of an earth wolf, covered in midnight black scales that seemed to absorb light. Its eyes glowed a sickly yellow, and rows of crystalline teeth jutted from its elongated snout. 6 legs ending in razor-sharp talons clicked against the floor as it moved with serpentine grace. The Vexthor, the professor continued, maintaining a safe distance, is classified as a Class 7 predator. Native to the death world of Kroth-Zul, they are born hunters. Even this juvenile specimen could kill most sentient species in seconds. Jake leaned forward with interest. The creature reminded him of the Komodo dragons he'd seen at the San Diego Zoo as a kid, mixed with something more prehistoric and terrifying. The hatchling's head swiveled, scanning the room. Students pressed themselves against their seats. A Quellan student in the front row actually fainted, their translucent body puddling onto the floor. The Vexthor's nostrils flared, tasting the fear in the air. Then it locked eyes with Jake. The room held its breath as the predator began moving. Not toward the nearest prey. Not toward the professor. It walked directly toward the human in the back row, its pace steady and purposeful. Everyone remain calm, Professor Velkath said, though his voice wavered. Mitchell, do not make any sudden movements. Jake didn't move. He'd grown up in rural Montana with bears occasionally wandering through his backyard. His grandfather had taught him young, predators can smell fear, and they react to panic. Stay calm. Stay still. The Vexthor reached his row. Students scrambled away, desks clattering. Jake remained seated, maintaining eye contact with the creature but keeping his posture relaxed. He'd read somewhere that direct eye contact could be seen as a challenge, but breaking it could trigger a chase instinct. The key was confidence without aggression. The hatchling stopped 2 feet away. Its nostrils flared again, processing Jake's scent. Then, to everyone's absolute shock, it sat down beside him. Not in a hunting crouch. Not coiled to strike. It simply sat, like a dog waiting for its owner. Professor Velkath's mandibles clicked in confusion. This is unprecedented. Vexthor hatchlings do not display pack bonding behavior. They are solitary hunters from birth. Jake slowly extended his hand, palm down, fingers relaxed. The same way he'd approach his neighbor's skittish rescue dogs back home. The Vexthor sniffed his hand thoroughly, then, incredibly, pressed its scaled head against his palm. May I? Jake asked, looking at the professor. I suppose. But slowly. Jake ran his hand along the creature's head, finding the spot behind what might be its ears. The Vexthor's eyes half closed, and a sound emerged from its throat, not quite a purr, more like rocks tumbling in a gentle stream. A Thalexian student raised a tentacle tentatively. How is he doing that? Humans are classified as a peaceful species. Jake couldn't help but laugh. Peaceful. Have you read any human history? He continued scratching the predator's head. We didn't get to the top of Earth's food chain by being peaceful. We got there by being the most persistent, adaptable predators our planet ever produced. Professor Velkath approached cautiously, his scientific curiosity overriding his survival instincts. But you have no natural weapons. No claws, no venom, no. We didn't need them, Jake interrupted. We had endurance, intelligence, and the ability to make tools. Humans hunted megafauna to extinction using nothing but pointy sticks and teamwork. We domesticated wolves, apex predators themselves, and turned them into companions. We looked at the most dangerous animals on our planet and thought, I wonder if I can pet that. The Vex Thor had now fully curled up beside Jake's chair, its dangerous head resting on its front claws. Earth is classified as a death world, Jake continued, warming to his subject. We evolved alongside creatures that could kill us in hundreds of ways. Venomous spiders, massive predatory cats, bears that could decapitate us with one swipe. We learned to recognize predator behavior because we had to. It's in our DNA. A brave Quellan student who had recovered from their faint spoke up. So you are saying humans are predators too? We're pursuit predators, Jake explained. Look at our eyes, both facing forward, built for tracking prey. Most prey species have eyes on the sides of their heads for detecting danger. We have stereoscopic vision for hunting. We're also endurance hunters. Humans can run longer than almost any animal on Earth. We'd chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. The class stared at him with newfound fear and fascination. Jake looked down at the Vex Thor, still peacefully resting beside him. This little guy. He recognizes a fellow predator. We speak the same language, even if we're from different worlds. There's no fear in me because predators don't fear each other, they respect each other. Professor Velkath made rapid notes on his datapad. This will require significant revision to our xenobiology classifications. Humans have been categorized as a non-threatening species based on their diplomatic nature and lack of natural weaponry. Diplomacy doesn't mean harmless, Jake said with a slight smile. It means we're smart enough to choose when to hunt and when to talk. That's what makes humans really dangerous. The Vex Thor yawned, displaying all of its terrifying teeth, then settled more comfortably against Jake's leg. As the class slowly resumed, with students keeping a wary distance from both the human and the supposedly terrifying predator hatchling, Jake reflected on the irony. They'd brought the predator to intimidate the class, never realizing they'd already admitted the galaxy's most successful predator months ago. The human who'd climbed to the top of the food chain not with claws or fangs, but with patience, intelligence, and an inexplicable desire to befriend absolutely everything, even the monsters.